What's up, guys? It's Isaac here at Back Road Harley-Davidson, and I have your pre-owned bike of the week, this 2023 Harley-Davidson Sportster S. So this is a pre-owned Sportster S, so it has a couple miles already on it. It's already started to get broke in. This is the gray haze color, so it is a black front fender, and is this nice gray haze with a little bit with the black and bronze logo on the tank, and then just a nice little flake all throughout. So it's almost like a brownish gray. Really gives it a deeper, darker level. It's sharp. But yeah, this thing is super cool all the way around. I mean, it's Harley-Davidson's American muscle sport bike. It is a sport motorcycle, but it's still very Harley-Davidson to the core. So I mean, you're going to see it's not going to have rear sets on it. It's going to have a little bit more forward, a little bit more neutral style pegs on it. It's very upright riding position, very standard motorcycle position. So you're not going to be laying on the tank or anything on it. It's going to feel very Harley-Davidson, but it's going to have a little bit more of that sport power that you might anticipate or might want from it. The biggest thing that really kind of catches most people's eye on this bike is going to be that fat front tire. I mean, this is almost as big as a lot of rear tires on sport bikes. It's a full 160, 70, or 17. So I mean, it's pretty massive, and it's only got one rotor on the front. It is the tires. The valve stems do have that 90, so they're a little bit easier to get to. I mean, this is super easy to get to right here, and it's on the other side of the rotor. So I mean, look at that. I got all this room right here. It's the little things that make it nice. And then you'll see the battery is pretty easy. It's right underneath the radiator here. It is a radiator, so the Rev Max. This is the 1250 Rev Max powertrain. So this is liquid cooled. It is liquid cooled. It has a much higher rev line, and just makes for an overall makes for that more sporty experience that a lot of riders want to see. We'll talk more about that, but this powertrain, super exciting. The other motorcycles you're going to see it in is you're going to see this 975 version in the Nightster and the Nightster S. A little bit smaller, but you'll see it still has plenty of torque, plenty of power to do a lot of stuff you want to go do. And then you'll see that this is sort of this is a little more unleashed version. So this is also the 1250 version, but this one's putting out 150 horsepower to really make this Pan Am scoot a little bit more around town and around America. Pan America, all of the Americas. But this one is going to also be the 1250, but it's only going to be 120 horsepower, so it's a little bit smaller bike too. And most people see that's still a pretty good amount to go party with. And it's still a little bit more than people might expect from a Harley-Davidson. And you'll see, and adding to the sportiness of it, you have the inverted front suspension. You do have this sort of bracket on the back that a lot of folks end up trying to remove off their sport bikes. So some folks, that might have seen a custom piece, like a custom LED strip on the back here. But it doesn't look bad, but there are definitely be interesting to see what other customization that people do for this rear section of the motorcycle. So you do have, this is a little battery tender plug here that's just kind of out right now. It is a dealership bike, so we do definitely want to make sure the battery's topped off for its next rider. But you'll see right here is actually the preload adjustment for your rear shock. So super easy to get that dialed in right here. And it's adjustable front suspension too. So you can get all that stuff dialed in and really get this motorcycle set exactly how you want to. We'll talk about all the tech on the ride, but little latch gas tank too, little fuel door. It is a belt drive still, so it's not a chain drive. So I mean, like I said, this is very Harley-Davidson. It's a sport bike, but it is very Harley-Davidson. Got a lot of Harley DNA in it. So if you're a little electric bike there. So if you're used to cruisers, you like Harley-Davidsons, but you really want something a little bit sportier, something you can rip just a little bit harder, then this is definitely something I would check out. This is definitely something I would check out. It's still relaxed, comfortable riding position. You still get the advantage of it being a Harley-Davidson, so you're never really too far from a Harley dealer, which is a great thing on really long road trips. When you're on any motorcycle trip, there might be unexpected things you might run into. So having that peace of mind is definitely peaceful. So let's go ahead and have maybe a little less peaceful ride on this thing. Where were we? It is a nice and smooth platform, I will say. The ergonomics are just sporty enough where you're really locked in pretty good. But they're pretty relaxed too at the same time. Let's see what we can get away with right here. Give you a little pull down the highway. Should have gone. Does it have hill hold control? Squeeze the brake. I don't see it coming on. Guess not. Unfortunate. Yeah, if you want the full tech suite, Pan Am, that's where you're going to get most everything fun. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get it. We're on a motorcycle. It's got such good power. I mean, everything, and you can just adjust it right to you. The suspension, the levers, I mean, look at that. You can even adjust the levers right to you. Yeah, the Pan Am you get the quick shifter for. I'm not sure if you can on this one. I don't think you can, unfortunately. But again, I love the control layout. We're gonna ease up just a little bit so we can push it a little harder for you guys. I mean, as big as these tires are, it rips. So I mean, we'll go see. See on the outside. Yeah, I mean that acceleration. I mean, it pulls, and then you get over 6,000, it just keeps pulling. So on one of our last videos we did, I said, you know, I was on a 09 Softail Deluxe, and I said, you know, that's not really a bike for, you know, going left and staying left and fast. But this one could be. This guy moves out. See, I'm at 4,500 RPM, so a quick roll on, 4th gear. Man, you gotta hold on. Whoa, that is some fun acceleration right there. So will it go highway speeds and, you know, help you do the highway ride? Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty comfortable position too. Honestly, I kind of like having, as someone who's used to cruisers, I mean, having my feet right here feels good. I don't know if I'd really want them that far back and sitting on top of. This isn't bad. I think there's a mid-control kit available for this, but oh, and this one has a 6th gear too. So yeah, I can just chill in 3,500 RPM, 6th gear, 66 miles an hour, and just 65 miles an hour, and just cruise. Let's see. Yeah, here I'm gonna see how it does rolling on in 6th gear, that low RPM. So doing that. Yeah, it'll keep pulling. How's that low grunt that you expect from a Harley? That's fun. You can really hold on to the tank. You're really on top of this bike, but not too much. It's awkward, you know. I've got a ton of tech. I already showed you the beautiful TPMS we have. I can hit the page button. I can see if my phone's connected to it. I can see my maps. If my headset's connected to it too, then I can see, we can control my music, and I have this whole D-pad on my right. So that's really nice. The bike diagnostics, settings, all kinds of stuff. And on these, you can also hit the home button and change the contrast, and now it's in dark mode if I press and hold. Now, since it's kind of middle of the day, I can change it to that high contrast version, so it's now it's the white and black instead of the black and white. Really good brakes on this thing. I mean, you could party with the second rotor if you wanted up on the front, but I mean, it stops. It's not that heavy. I mean, it stops plenty good with just the one rotor. You can probably make the ABS and all that stuff come on just as easy with this one as you could with two. And again, this is all in road mode. So you're ripping down Tryon, someone pulls up beside you, they see you're on a Harley sport bike, and they're like, Harleys are slow. So you got to do some education on the road, hit the mode button, drop it in sport. Now, you're going to find that throttle's going to be much more responsive. And it's all things you can change quick and on the fly too, which is really nice. So you don't have to pull over, come to a complete stop, change that out, and it's just an easy switch and go. You have custom ride modes too. Cruise control, it is set up for heated grips, but this one is currently, this one does not come with them. To come with them, you're gonna have to check out the Pan Am. Yeah, that already feels much more responsive. Oh, this thing's a screamer. Yeah, you can do all you want with this thing. Some folks don't really love sport mode as much as they do road mode, because road mode's just a good all-arounder. And some folks, they might find sport mode is just a little bit harder, really, especially on like a bumpy road. You know, it's a little bit harder to really keep that steady throttle hand. And when, you know, you're in a mode that's much more responsive, can make it a little bit more difficult. So let's go ahead and give it a quick little pull right here, see what we're working with. That's a cute cutout for a missing cat. Oh, that's quick. Oh my gosh. Alright. That's some acceleration. You really got to lock in on this thing. Kind of felt, I almost need a little something there to rest my back against, because I mean, it is easy to, I can feel myself sliding back. Well, I didn't slide back in the seat because it grips you pretty well. More like I was about to come out of my pants. Oh yeah, we'll hit some, we'll hit these twisties pretty good, but the acceleration's there. I mean, this is the Rev Max motor. It max rev, you know, it'll rev good. I'll keep it in sport mode for this next little bit. The seat's kind of comfortable too. I mean, I didn't really notice it. It's thin, but I mean, it's got just the right amount of cushion on it. It'd be interesting to see how this bike is to, A, take on something like the back of the Dragon, and B, ride to the back of the Dragon. You know, there are some luggage options, but it's a sport bike, and I feel weird about luggage on sport bikes. So maybe just a little backpack and go. Let's drop back a little bit so we can push through just a little bit more. Yeah. Let's see. Let's pick a terrible line and then. Ho ho ho! Okay, this thing's ready to ride. This thing's a blast. It'll pull all right. Every now and then you'll see one of these out on the road, and you're like, man, kind of looks like fun. It's a fun bike. So, and it's like I said, it's one of those bikes you're really just gonna need to go ride yourself and check it out. And so we hope that you come check it out here with us here at Back Road Harley-Davidson. And if you have any more questions about the Sportster S, you know, you can check out some of our other videos and drop a question in the comments and stop by and see us, of course. So in the meantime, ride safe, and we hope to see you soon.